am Pete Thorn, and I'm on tour with Michel Polnareff. We are here at the fabulous Nîmes Arena de Nîmes in beautiful Nîmes, France. And I'm on tour with some of my Two Notes gear. So we came to talk about my rig and give you a little rig rundown pre-show here. Excuse our mess. We've got a little plastic covering up the gear here because it's been raining off and on. I think I saw it, I'm pretty active on the guitar forums and stuff like that online, so it was just kind of word of mouth over the internet that I became first kind of aware of the Two Note stuff. And then they sent me the live unit to check out, and I was pretty knocked out using it in the studio as well as in the live situation, like I was saying. But I guess initially I started using it in the studio, and I realized what a powerful, cool thing it was that I was able to get a great sound with basically no cabinet volume, other than if I had studio monitors on in the studio. I was able to do that, and you could do it in an apartment at 3 a.m, I always say, and have your 100-watt Marshall cranked up or whatever. So that was it was like kind of very eye-opening for me, really exciting. I think I've been using Two Notes products for about 4 or 5 years now, and I think it was the Torpedo Live was the first piece of gear I actually used, and I also have a Torpedo C.A.B. So I got both of those around the same time. I was on tour with another French artist in 2013, Michel Polnareff, and actually started using these on that tour. So it was my first sort of exposure to a product like this and using them live. And it was a really, really successful thing for me. Really enjoyed it, just the consistency and being able to get the same sound and my sound every night, night after night in a live situation. So that was really cool. I'm pretty picky about speaker sound, so I'm a big fan of the Ownhammer products. So it's nice that the Two Notes guys give you the ability to upload, your favorite impulse responses and use it inside the unit. So people sometimes ask me what the one I use is live. It's a impulse response of a 1977 Blackback Celestion G12M 55 hertz model. In a 1968 Marshall 1960B 412 cabinet. I can't be much more precise than that, but it's a blend of 4 different mics on that beautiful old speaker in that beautiful old speaker cabinet. And of course, to be able to get that consistent sound every night and send that to the front of house, it's like having a dream Marshall cabinet with 4 killer mics and a killer vintage speaker every night consistently. So it's so cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's correct. So I've got a speaker cabinet out on stage, which the Torpedo Live has a great feature where it's got a speaker through jack. So you run your amp speaker out into the Torpedo Live and then plug a speaker cable into the through jack out to the cabinet. So the cabinet is actually serving as the load, and I've got live on stage cabinet sound, but no microphones on the cabinet. It's purely for me to be able to get some, my pants flapping on stage and to be able to get some feedback and stuff, which is, I do that a lot during the show, actually. I'm always leaning into the cabinet and making the guitar feedback. But in my in-ears and to front of house is, the pure impulse responses from the Torpedo Lives. All right, so I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of the whole rig that I'm using here on the Michel Polnareff Tour 2016. So the bottom half of this rack is Reggie McBride's bass rig, except I've got some power stuff down here, like my Furman Power Factor Pro and my Variac. So I'm coming out of the 240 volts into I guess step down transformer, and I use the Variac to kind of modify to make sure it's right on, dead on 117 volts, so it's a nice consistent. Sometimes coming out of those things from 240 step down, you'll look at the voltage and it'll be like, whoa, it's 127 or something, which is awfully hot for a guitar amp that's designed for 120 volts. So yeah, I use the Power Factor Pro and the Variac to kind of set all that stuff. This stuff right here, the wireless and the amp and stuff like that, this is all Reggie McBride's bass rig. So from here on up is my stuff, including 2 Torpedo Lives because I run 2 amps in stereo. And then I've got the AKG digital wireless here. And okay, let's go check out the amps. So my amps on the tour are 2 of my signature Sir PT100s, and I'm actually using them both in stereo, so that's lots of fun. So that's why hence 2 Torpedo Lives, 2 amps in stereo. So I use all 3 channels of the amp, and it's got a great Fender clean channel, a great sort of British drive channel, and then a lead channel 3. So got them set up to be kind of varying degrees of gain, that kind of thing. And then this is my pedal board. I've got everything back on the riser because there's an opening band before we go on, so they've moved all the stuff back here, and also to protect from the rain, so it's convenient because I can show it to you right here. This is a pedal board that's been going through some degree of evolution for, I guess, I don't know, I've had it for about 5 years now, something like that. So Musicom Mark IV switcher is kind of the brain of the whole system. I use these 2 pedals, which are different. They look the same, but they're not. I've got a Mission volume pedal and then a Mission expression pedal. And of course the EVH wah. I've been through a number of wah pedals recently as of late, and wahs want to break on me all the time. I don't know why. So this one's always worked, and so it sounds great. I stuck it back on there. It's cool. So yeah, basically the guitar hits the side of the pedal board, goes through the volume pedal, the wah, and then goes into the switcher. And then patched out from the switcher are all my drives and compressor pedal and stuff like that. So I've got, let me see, I can actually go through each individual loop one at a time if you like. The compressor is in loop 1. That's an Origin Effects Cali 76. Loop 2 is a Boss Hyper Fuzz. Loop 3 is the Mobius, front end of the Strymon Mobius. In loop 4 I've got a Phase 90 from MXR. Loop 5 is the Sick-Ass. I still don't know how to say this. From Bondi Effects. Sick-Ass. A great overdrive, kind of clownish overdrive. And let me see, loop 6 I got the Sir Coco Boost. Loop 7 is a Ecstasy Blue pedal from Bogner, and loop 8 is the Vemoram Janray. So that's it. So then the signal runs out of the switcher, comes out, hits the front end of the amps. There's a send from the main PT100 that comes back into the side of the board, and then I hit all my time-based stuff, which is the back end of the Mobius. You can run this actually in front of the amp end in the loop too, so that's pretty cool. So I got the back end of that first. Then I'm going into this H9 right here, and I'm just coming stereo out of here. This is where everything splits into stereo. Goes into the timeline from Strymon, delay, stereo out of there, into this H9, stereo out of there, coming back into the returns of the 2 amps. Did you guys get all that? Okay, there's a little bit more to it, actually. There's a MIDI A/B box in the rig. It's too complicated to explain how I use it, but basically I can A/B between my acoustic rig and my electric rig using the A/B. That's underneath. All the power supplies are G-Lab, which are just great. They've been working flawlessly for years now. What else? I don't know. That's it, basically. I always explain the rest. We're coming out of the heads. It's basically hitting the 2 Torpedo Lives, and that's where the speaker sound gets sent to my in-ears, into the front of house and all that. And then through, coming out to a Marshall cabinet, we'll show in a second, that's out on stage. And that's just my on-stage monitoring, basically. And that's it. Hey, so thanks so much for checking out my rig, and thanks to the nice folks at 2 Notes for the Torpedo Live, for making that fantastic product, because it helps me to deliver raging guitar tone to these folks every night. So, hey, over and out from Nîmes, France. Did I say that right? My French is so-so.